I just feel like we are surrounded in this world by bullshit.
So how can you know what's real and what's not? Science versus. That's how. We answer questions like, does anti-aging skincare actually work? And what is your true personality type? And to answer these questions, we don't use opinions. We dive into the scientific studies, talk to the experts, and put it in a podcast that I know you are gonna love. Listen to Science Versus on Spotify.
Bare naked, bare naked, bare naked. ABCs.
Welcome to the Bare Naked ABCs, where we discuss every single Bare Naked Lady song from 7 to Y. And I'm taking a little bit of time out of my life to come and talk about this song this week. But, you know, when I'm not here, I guess I'm loving life. I guess it's all right. How about you guys? Betsy, Aaron?
Loving life. Yeah. It's great.
Are you loving life better than this song, Betsy?
I'm loving you guys tonight. Loving you.
That's easy because we're beautiful.
I mini rippered it right out.
Oh.
La, 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 la.
Well, that's not the song we're talking about tonight. The song we are talking about tonight is Lovin' Life, off from In Flight. It's the opening song off from that album, and if you have not heard this song before, here is a quick snippet.
We're loving life, we're loving life. We love it so much that we want to live it twice. We're loving life, we're loving life, so we're loving life, so we're loving life, so we're loving life, so I got.
It is written by Ed Robertson and Kevin Griffin, and it is the lead single off this album. I guess I'll lead us right into Aaron. Do you want to give us a breakdown of this song?
Sure. Let's break it down. So Lovin' Life was recorded at 149 beats per minute. It was in the key of B major. When I heard the intro, I don't know about the both of you, but when I first heard the intro to this song, my first thought was I liked it when Richard Marx did it first.
I was wondering who you're going to say.
Wherever you go. It's like very similar. But it switches gears with the feel pretty quickly because then it gets into this, this kind of groove.
One minute we're here, the next one we're not. The clock is ticking, better use what you got. It's Armageddon and we're getting it on, because the world could end before the end of this song.
Now, the main verse changes are B major to F sharp major to G sharp minor to E major. This might sound familiar to you because this equates to 1, 5, 6, 4. And you have, I'm sure, heard these changes before. A great example would be my favorite U2 song, With or Without You. Now, this is the entire song, essentially.
Probably every other song that Kevin and Ed have written together.
It's catchy. It's definitely, it's a good little changes there. But anyways, so this is pretty much the entire song. The intro, the verse, the chorus, what I'm going to call the refrain, they're all the same 4 chords. The one exception to this, sort of, is the bridge, which goes G sharp minor to F sharp major to B major to E major. So it's the same 4 chords, just in a different order. In this case, it's 6 to 5 to 1 to 4. And this probably explains why the ending of the bridge, right at the mic drop, is perhaps the most tension you feel in the song, because then the 4 resolves back down to the 1 for the chorus. So those are our B changes, such as they are. Same 4 chords, but different order. So we really have like a song that is almost entirely A changes, and then like one section of B changes, and then it goes back. So the form would be intro, which is your A changes, verse 1, A, chorus, A. That's the first time they do We're Lovin' Life. what I'm calling the refrain, or you could argue this is the true chorus, and the chorus we just talked about is a pre-chorus, but I'm going to call this a refrain, is also A changes. That's so love it, right? And then verse 2, A changes again, chorus, A changes, bridge, B changes, chorus, A changes, and then refrain, A changes. It's extended for the outro. So A, B, A, which I have to try and give sound to. So I will say ABBA. That's
ABBA?
okay. Yeah, it's kind of like ABBA. It's like Dancing Queen. So as far as the musicality of it all, I'm gonna say some things. There are things that I like here. I like the chiptunes style keyboards in the background of the refrain. That probably some people might find them annoying, but because I grew up playing Nintendo, yeah, I was guessing Tracy hates those. So I think we both called it there.
They're mixed well enough in that I don't hate it.
I think if they were louder, I would hate them because it could be kind of abrasive and kind of like very high pitched and kind of. So I could kind of understand that, but I think they're in the background. They're just kind of giving they're like a little flavor, like just dropping in a little.
I'm not saying that I wouldn't love to hear an acoustic version of this. That being said,
that would be interesting. Yeah.
And Kevin did talk about those. Kevin said that the keys that he did for this were inspired by the Cars.
That makes a lot of sense. I can kind of hear that, and that's maybe why that kind of I like that aspect of it.
Yeah, a single note melody that continues on with a synth sound.
So yeah, I like the kind of new wavy synths. I like Jim and Tyler locking into a groove. I like the upbeat message, and there's some more that we'll discuss when we get into that because there's actually a other side to that coin. But I really feel like, and here's my thesis. I feel like how much you're loving this song kind of depends on how much you're loving life at the moment when you hear it, right? I feel like, seriously, think about it, right? Imagine yourself driving a convertible with the top down, heading to the beach with your friends. I bet this song slaps. You know what I mean? On the other hand...
Now imagine taking that same convertible and you're driving it off a bridge in the attempt of suicide.
Yeah. If you're feeling... Yeah. If you that's more succinctly put.
The Mac and Me clip that.
I was gonna say, we're loving life. Oh!
Yes, someone I want you to see. I want
Mac
you to
and
take
Me.
the Mac and Me clip and put
Please
this
make
into the background.
I love that idea.
Smile on his face the whole damn way down.
And that needs to be played the next time Paul Rudd shows up on Conan.
Oh man,
it's one of the greatest running jokes in the history of late night.
Yes.
Anyways, but if you're feeling crushed by the weight of existential certitude, perhaps not so much. Maybe you're not loving the song as much. Then again, the lyrics do say we got one shot living on this rock. I know Ed, like me, is not particularly religious, so it is kind of nice to hear this sort of message from a song by him because it sort of aligns with like my absurdist philosophy, right? But anyways, that I don't want to prematurely enter the lyrical realm, so I'm gonna be active and say, Betsy, what did you think of the song musically?
Musically, I don't know. I'm coming at it from a weird place because it's so upbeat that it's almost like a little saccharine to me. But maybe that's just my tilt on things right now. It reminded me of either, and if you guys are listening, don't take this in the bad way. Either like maybe an erectile dysfunction ad or an AARP commercial.
Well, now that you said that, I can't get that out of my head now. Oh my god.
Hymns, we know that you're listening to this. You need to put that out there for your next ad.
Hey, if you need to be ready anytime, we're loving life.
We're loving life.
We're loving life.
Oh, actually, that kind of sounds like.
Sounds like someone walking in flip
Those
flops.
aren't hand claps.
It's the sound of a
That's what you were gonna
walker.
say.
Because it's for AARPs.
Yeah, it is very, very upbeat. It is. I imagine teenage me, especially, would have been very, very quick to poo-poo this song.
Teenage you would have been like, Tracy, I'm leaving the podcast.
Yeah, I'm out.
I did like the
Why?
keyboard synthesizer beepsy boopsy kind of
Nice.
thing. That's
beepsy-
just
yeah, the beeps
I've
and boops
always
are
liked
good.
that. So and Kevin always balances it really well. So Kevin Hearn, I guess he puts some with Kevin Griffin too. But yeah, no, Kevin has that magical flair of putting just enough in at just the right volume, and I mean, obviously it gets mixed and everything, but. Yeah, so I mean, well done in general. Musically, it's simple.
It is.
But-
It's a very simple song.
Yes, I had the same note.
It's not necessarily what I come to BNL for, but
Yeah, that's fair.
it's okay.
You're liking life.
Yeah, I'm meh-ing life.
I mean, if you're comparing this to other songs on this album, this might actually
Yeah.
feel like a really
Yeah,
good
this
song.
is like the
Agreed.
hype song for the whole album, I'm sure.
Which that's what they felt. That's what Ed wanted to write this song about. Like this is one of the first songs that he came to, and he said he went to Kev Griffin and that he wanted to write a simple, honest song about how he was feeling, which is at that time was grateful. Ed, I don't think you felt that for the rest of the album. But he said that the song started
Not tired?
with Griffin.
I'm old.
He said that the song started with Griffin proposing the lyric, "I love my life," and that was the name that they were kind of going with for a long time with the demo and the early versions of.
I'm
this.
glad they changed that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And actually, originally the title was ILML because they
Illimal.
wanted.
Illimal.
Illimal.
Boy, that really rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm glad they changed it.
Illimal. Almost like
Sounds
aluminum, but not
I'm having
quite.
a stroke. I'm having a stroke.
Numb arm. Narm.
He changed it because he said that he felt it sounded boastful.
Yeah,
And
that's
he
why
wanted-
I'm glad they changed it. Because it's just like, oh, my life's awesome. You know, it's like, well, yeah, it is. You're a rock star.
Good for you.
Nice humble brag. Hashtag humble brag. Yeah, no, I think
Yeah.
it's not.
You've already
Plus,
bragged about how much money you make and that you can live off half of what you have. So yeah, let's just rub some more salt in the wound, buddy. How you guys doing tonight?
They also said on the track by track, if In Flight is a hockey team, this is the center man. This is the goal
the team
scoring
captain. It's
phenom.
got the C on the uniform.
Yeah.
Phenom?
Well, that's what they said. I didn't say that. That's what. that
Well,
was
you
what
did
their
say
words.
it, but you said that they said it, so you still said it.
This is going. He
support
said
it?
that this is going to be a fun one to play live, and that's what he wanted to kind of go for.
I can see that.
You know, he says that. He also said, I think most of our material that way, which is how is it going to translate to the stage? And I immediately hit pause on my computer and wrote down, Ed, what? How did you think that the other songs in this album are going to play in concert? I don't think that you thought that for one single second other than this song.
Yep.
And then I
I
hit
needed
play
an
again.
opener, so yeah.
I do want to point out that the hand claps, we get
Yeah.
a nice return to the hand claps, which, you know, that's mostly Jim kind of doing because everyone else is busy. And Jim was like, I want to add in the bass sparingly to just fill the gaps. I agree that's kind of what's going on. Although I like
Did he
a good-
remind you of that little wind-up monkey that they have with the cymbals that go like clap, 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 clap? A little bit to me. That's my hot take.
I do like. Oh, I want to point out that Ed in the video has the guitar capoed at 4. For those who are trying to play this, so that's how Ed's pulling this off. I prefer the live at El Mocambo version of this, which they put on the deluxe release of this album. They released like 4 different songs from that concert. And I prefer that version just because it's the energy. You get a lot more energy with them playing this live, and you can hear. I don't know, Aaron, if you listened to that version or not, but I don't know if it's a wood block or if Tyler is hitting the drumsticks together or if he's hitting the edge of the drum.
Yes,
but it's not that.
That's called a rim tap or a
rim
knock, not to be confused.
With the rim
I'm not
job.
gonna no.
Rim
Okay.
job.
See,
I said it.
I was trying really hard not to go down that particular alley, as it were. But so yeah, not to be confused with the rim shot, which is actually even that is wrong. Because most people, when you say rim shot, they think da-da, psh, is like what we use as like a shorthand for that. But a rim shot is actually playing the snare in such a way that the stick intersects the rim of the snare at the same time as the tip strikes the drum itself, the drum head. And what that does is it makes it more resonant, it makes it ring out more, makes it very loud and short and staccato and that. But anyways, so this is a rim tap, which is just kind of knocking the stick on the side of a drum, or like the rim or lid of an actual drum.
Just the tip.
Just the tip. You were very patient. You waited to deliver that. I appreciate that. You let me do my spiel.
Yeah, there's hope.
Proud of you.
I really like that in there, and you can hear it a lot more on the live version of it. It kind of gets blended in a lot more in the album version, which I don't like as much.
I like the album version because it has those chiptune keyboards, and I don't think that's. Is it maybe not in the live version, or is it not as pronounced?
It's not as pronounced.
Yeah.
I mean, Kevin's kind of playing the guitar. So Kevin also throughout this song is playing the rhythm guitar, and so he's doing that during most of the song, and then for the chorus and refrain, like you were talking about, he reaches over and he's hitting one note. With the guitar in his other hand, waiting, and then brings it right back to playing.
What a legend!
Again.
He's always doing
multi-instrumentalist for the win. Mm-hmm. Kevin, we know you listen. Come on the show,
please. We love
make
you,
Betsy's decade and just come on the show.
Yeah.
She got that dreamy look in her eyes.
Far away, dreamy look.
Well, why don't we talk about what the song is about? We've talked enough about the music.
Can I take a guess?
Please, by all means.
Is it about the way that you can love your life in so much as you have a lot of money and you're doing what you love, and
yes,
and you have some cool shirts and a family?
Yep, I think that's pretty accurate.
Is it dead on?
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate.
I deserve a raise.
I agree completely. Actually, let's unionize.
Yeah,
Tracy, we're going to go on strike. You got to give us... Wait, you're getting paid?
I gave you shirts.
He Venmos me. I didn't get an up-to-date shirt.
Well, I haven't made those. They're expensive.
Oh, well. Ooh.
Anyway.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean... So the final lyrics of the song: can't be defensive or on the attack. You got to love it if it's going to love you back. We've probably all heard an aphorism that goes something like, if you don't love yourself, how can you expect anyone else to love you? I don't particularly care for this saying because I think love and life are a lot more complicated than that. And I think it's also kind of commonly used to try and kind of shush people who are maybe having some problems.
Yes.
But having said that, it is kind of true in the sense of if you're not loving your life, you're not loving yourself, you're not being kind to yourself, not doing what you need to do for you, life is probably not going to seem very kind.
But yeah, still, you gotta love it if it's gonna love you back. No, you don't. And like that,
I would say loving it does not guarantee that it will love you back.
Yeah.
No, nor should you necessarily have to love it if it is going to love you back. Like, Like, not
You're saying
necessarily.
it's a very needy partner.
Codependent.
Codependent. Yeah, it's kind of a codependent relationship.
This song is
healthy.
not as problematic as Too Old, but a little bit there.
Yeah, I mean, life just isn't that simple, is it?
No.
And he says, can't be defensive or on the attack. Well, guess what? Yeah, you can, and I will if I have to be.
I can, I will, I do. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good, like, touchstone or, like, goal to keep in mind to try to stay positive and everything like that, but it's a little too oversimplified for me. I mean, I get it. I get the point. It's, YOLO and
Yes,
all that other things, gratitude and things.
Carpe diem.
Yes, yeah. C'est la vie.
It's Robin Williams and Dead Poets Society,
Yes, that's right.
Seize the day.
I mean,
He wasn't going for smart lines, and he
Proceed.
said that. He's not going for anything like double entendre or a
Too
double
clever.
meaning. Like, he's going for very simple lyrics, and I think he accomplished that.
mm-hmm.
And you don't really have to think much about this song. Like, it isn't a anthem of gratefulness. I will agree with him on that as well. But I think, like you were saying, Aaron, you have to be in the right place in your life to appreciate the song.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe I'm being too charitable in my interpretation, or maybe I'm in passing through the filter of whatever is in my brain. It's come, I'm associating it with something, but like, I do feel. We kind of mentioned, Dead Poet Society, Carpe Diem. I do kind of feel like, what was I think the last lyrics of the song are "the clock is ticking." Or no, it's not the last lyrics, but the clock is ticking. Better use what you got. It's a Memento Mori song, right? It's so in a certain way, it's kind of being like, hey, you're gonna die. Enjoy what you got. Which again,
Wow.
to someone who to someone who is not experiencing a great time, probably sounds really callous. But I also think that there is something there, and as much as like, life is what you make of it. This is what we have. This is our shot. So there's something in there. I think there's a slightly deeper and slightly, I don't want to say darker, but slightly more compelling that I think is just beneath the surface. But again, it could be
Well, and I think with that
an
second
echo
verse,
chamber of my own mind. I don't know.
I think with that second verse and then the little intro that he has going, the pre-chorus that he has going into the second chorus, you get that little bit of a dark hue to it, and admitting that life isn't always positive.
Got some money and I bought some regrets. There'll be fender benders on the road to success. You got your problems and I know I got mine. The grass is looking greener till you realize on the best of days there'll be joy and pain. Are you feeling what I'm feeling?
I've made some mistakes as well as enjoying it. Like, yeah, I've got money, but I may have made some mistakes that get me into that I shouldn't have done. You got your problems and I know I've got mine.
Regrets. I've had a
Yeah,
few.
exactly. The grass is looking greener till you realize on the best of days there'll be joy and pain. Like, I like that point. Like,
True.
Even on good
Bittersweet.
days, it's both bittersweet. And it's about looking toward the positive as much as you can and enjoying what you can. And I appreciate that.
Yeah, I think the last thing that I will say, which I would consider to be in defense of this song, to whatever extent it needs defending, is I think that there's kind of a decent I don't know. I like the kind of optimism in the face of existential dread thing, and I guess I don't know if it's just. I mean, so you're saying you kind of agree, Tracy, that that's kind of an underpinning theme here.
As Ed says, you don't need a postdoc to keep up with this plot. I'm being pretty simple here.
And as the wise Yoda once said,
food.
"Come, Good food. Eat.
Oh,
Whoa.
dear.
Where's your head at?
I mean, where is it always
I mean,
at?
it was
Probably
it was a sausage. Now that I think about it, no, he stole Luke's sausage.
I bet he did. Stop it
This
now.
sounds. I mean, what would you do if seagulls attacked you?
Na, 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 na.
So I do want to ask you guys about one line in this that I don't get what he's trying to say.
Okay.
Okay,
What-
but before you say that, I have a thought. But say your thought first. I'm just putting a pin in my thought
Okay.
so I don't lose it.
We have a
Then
queued
go.
up thought. You have the quarter on
Queued
top of the
up.
arcade machine.
Yep.
Your next
That's
player.
right.
Okay.
A quarter.
Quarter.
What if we just got to the mic drop? What?
I thought.
Oh, like an over the hill pinnacle kind of thing, maybe,
I
The
don't
mic
know.
drop? or
Because
like some
we're
sort
all
of epiphany.
taught that it's so fraught. What if we just got to the mic drop?
Well, maybe if you had some sort of like revelation, maybe.
I like that. Could be
I'll go with it.
an epiphany. Could be.
Breakfast at Epiphanies.
Oh wow! Oh my!
I mean, it brings me to
have
the trouble
applaud
with Tracy
That was
with
great.
this song. Is I get the feeling that this was a first draft, and
Tell us how
I
you really
don't-
feel.
there are some lines in this that I feel are a little lazy. Like he wrote filler lines and then
It's getting
Oh, you
too
mean
old.
like the way it
Back.
says "We're
Way
loving
too
life"
old.
about 50 times?
Yeah.
Well, there's that. But like this, I think he said, "Oh, mic drop. That's a good rhyme." What if we just got to the mic drop? Well, that doesn't make sense with the rest of what you're saying. I can't piecemeal in what you're saying. It's a good rhyme, but it doesn't match the rest of this. And it feels like a lazy rhyme to me. It feels like I have this really cool thing I want to say, so I'm just gonna find a way to fit it in.
I mean,
Well,
yeah, go
Tracy's
ahead.
just not overthinking it. He's living his life. He likes his life. He's not going to spend weeks and
Yeah, what
weeks
do
in
you-
the song because
yeah.
he's got to live his life.
Come
man.
on, nerd.
He likes it. Yeah.
Well, that brings me to the other rhyme in this that I don't like, which is the pizza line. It feels lazy.
We're loving life, we're loving life. It's like a pizza and we want another slice. We
Who doesn't like pizza, Tracy?
I want another Betsy Melon slice.
Oh, I love pizza, don't get me wrong. But it just feels like a really lazy line. Every time I hear it, I'm like, Ed, you can do better than that.
Yes, he can. You're right. I agree.
No argument from me.
So it's just like the watermelon slice was a better line than that. I feel like he didn't. Once again, filler line he never went back and fixed.
Yeah,
But-
I mean, I have to agree. Sorry,
But Betsy,
guys.
you put a quarter on the top of the
Yes.
video game.
Player 2 has entered the game.
It might not be what I think it is.
Okay.
But just entertain me.
Okay.
Something about this song sounded familiar to me, other than the fact that he's got like five other songs like it. It was more like the tempo and like the kind of staccato. Da, 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 da,
Yep.
It reminds me of like this. If it's like the flip side or like the photo negative of New Disaster a little, to me. Kind of like in terms of tempo, but also message. I could be reaching, but there is just something about
Yeah, you're right.
like the inverse.
That's the pessimism
function,
side of the
maybe.
coin. This is
Yeah,
the optimism
maybe.
side. No, I
Maybe.
actually quite agree.
But again,
Nicely
that
spotted.
confuses me all the more because, like, the album before this was much more positive and much more engaging. And New Disaster fits more on this album than it does on the other album because we have this really optimistic thing, and then he's
Maybe
like,
they're
"But
trying
I'm
to counterbalance it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't have enough time. And
I'm old and I'm tired and my bones hurt, but I'm loving life. I want another slice.
Pizza slice.
Well, now I want pizza.
It's like he burnt out all his positivity on the first song, and then he's like, yeah, I'm spent.
Gotta pace yourself.
That's.
I mean,
but
we're not going to say
not
you
if
have a
you're
problem
loving
pacing
life
yourself.
with our herbal supplements.
Yep.
Hymns. We know you listen. Please send us that.
It'd be hilarious if we like they're a sponsor. They're not. Just to be clear.
Brought to you by Cialis.
Call your doctor for
Well-
less longer than 4 hours.
Priapism. 4 hours. Flick it.
Well, what do we want to give this song? How many? What do we want to rank it?
How many watermelon
for a
slices?
Yeah, sure.
Watermelon slices? Okay, I'll go with that. If you had said pizza slices, I would have reached through the computer.
Ah.
And given me pizza?
And giving you pizza, yes.
Well, in that case,
No, I would have given you a chicken dinner.
winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Ah, very nice. Winner, winner. I would have liked to have seen that, so either way. Win-win.
Well, Betsy, how many watermelon slices do you give this song?
I don't know. Why do you ask me this question? It vexes me.
Something vexes thee.
It vexes me.
It's like you're acting as though this like surprises you that I'm going to ask this question.
Oh, do you do that?
Oh, I thought your name was Betsy, not Vex Me.
Ah, vex me. I don't know. Fucking 3.
Okay, yeah.
It's all right.
You said a 3?
It's 3.
Okay.
It's a weak 3. It's an anemic 3.
It just barely squeaked over the finish line for 3 for
Oh
you.
God.
It's
Yeah.
3, but it's got that. It's the rind. There's a lot of rind on that 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that last slice was a little on the wonky side. It was a little
On the
wonky.
bitter side.
Yeah, it's the end slice.
Yeah, it's like the loaf of bread, so the first and last
cheated.
slice.
It's like some weird,
You ever go to someone's
triangle
house?
circle thing.
You go to someone's house and they're like,
The
"Oh, I'll make
heel.
you a sandwich," and they literally
Yeah, make you a grilled
skip past
cheese.
the few good slices to give you that little foot, the bread foot, right?
Yeah, the heel.
I don't want your bread foot. Don't
Bread
give me that bread
foot.
foot.
Oh no, I've
Bread
been
foot-
diagnosed with breadfoot.
I was gonna say breadfoot's my favorite cryptid, but I like yours.
I have a raging case of breadfoot.
Oh no!
That's a yeasty problem.
No.
Yeah, we need some antifungal here.
Yeah,
Stat.
here. Listen to this song by the Yeasty Boys. And we'll
The
hear it.
yeasty boy.
Yeah, that's the problem. I ordered like a lasagna or an enchilada, and I got a grilled cheese. Is what
Okay.
I feel like.
Okay. And
That's
you know
all.
what? Grilled cheese is perfectly fine, but it's not what you were hoping
Perfectly
for.
fine.
Yeah,
Right.
fair.
Well, what about
not
you,
as
Aaron?
satisfying.
How many watermelon slices do you give
This is a weird one. This is actually a really difficult call. On paper, I should hate this song. It's very happy and upbeat, at least at first glance. It's a 4-chord song, pretty straightforward pop rock, but I just can't hate it. In fact, I think I kind of like it. It's like it just kind of, again, and I'm probably coloring it with my own perception, but it just kind of reminds me of that like impulse towards life, the impulse to survive, the impulse to overcome. Right? It reminds me of. Get ready on the sensor here, Tracy. But it reminds me of that line from Blade Runner when Roy Batty picks up Tyrell and says, "I want more life, fucker." Now that is more punk. It's cyberpunk in its delivery, and I think that resonates more. But there's just a little bit of that attitude in this. I can't hate this song. I don't love it. Can't hate it. I'm gonna say 3.25 watermelon slices. It's one of the slices fell off the table, and they had to cut off the
rinse
part
it
that
off.
touched the ground. Yeah, it's like,
Fine.
Yeah.
You're not really gonna get sick.
If you do, call your doctor.
Excuse me.
Well, all right. So the more times I listen to this week, it's one of those earworms that makes you feel good. And there's a part of me that just resents the fact that they made me feel good.
Yeah.
In this time of my life, I'm like, how dare you make me feel good? But at the same time, I couldn't, like, I walked into this week really negative about this song. I was like, I am going to lambaste this song with how poor the rhyming is. And actually, the rhyming's not poor. And, well, I'm going to, there's no good B&L like sides on this. I'm like, oh, actually, he does throw in some really good ones in there. The problem, it's a simple song, but he went for simple, and I can't bang him for that one. Like, I ended up liking this song, and it really bothers me. So I'm gonna have to give this song 4 watermelon slices. But
Ooh, nice.
it's a seeded watermelon.
Is it?
So I'm always having to constantly spit the seeds
that's a good
out.
analogy, isn't
That's
it?
a
I was
seeded
assuming it was
watermelon.
seedless because I'm bougie.
So I didn't really drink the Haterade this week, but I was kind of sipping it just slightly.
No,
Right?
very nice, very nice.
And, yeah, just to
You know what,
Thank you,
Aaron?
very good.
Whatever it is you're drinking there,
can you
I
see
think
it?
you're living well.
Oh, could almost see it.
Bet's made this really awesome Haterade mug.
Oh!
And there's one for you
can't-
too,
yeah.
sir.
Yeah.
So Betsy is really talented and
Yes.
does some throwing some clay.
I do. I just throw it.
She
and
just
then
throws it around the studio.
Isn't that the right place?
like
The
modern
right
art.
phrase.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very therapeutic.
Matter of fact, would you say that allows you to live well?
Oh, get out of here.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow, I did not see that coming. I should have.
Loving life and we're living well.
And we're hydrating with our Haterade cups.
Well, you know, I think that after that pun, I think you're gonna want to throw me and have me land on my head, but that'll come down the road.
Yeah, you're getting ahead of
Bum.
things.
No.
Well, before I get too far ahead, why don't we end this week? Thank you guys for joining me.
See you next week.
Peace out, Girl Scout. Nice
Later,
seeing you guys.
taters.
Go out and start loving some life.
Life cereal, not a sponsor.
He likes it. Hey, Mikey.
Hey, Mikey, you likes it. Hey, bada bing.
I like how we turn the kids into gangsters now. Hey, Mikey, he likes it. Yeah.
I do it all the time at work.
Like 1930s Chicago gangsters. Hey, yeah, you like that Life cereal, Mikey?
Hey, you want a bowl of this piece of shit cereal? Sure. It's got cinnamon. I'll try some. Oh no! Unfair. Why? When we were bloopering so hard. But see, are we supposed to go back in? No.